morning, Flosstube. Happy Valentine's Day. Today is February 14th, Valentine's Day. Chekhov, I guess, is going to decide to lay on top of all my stuff. I normally would not be doing this on a Valentine's Day because I would be spending it with my Valentine. But it is 30 to 29 degrees here in San Antonio. It's icing a little bit, and they're expecting possible major ice and snow tonight. And my husband, because he is a first responder with emergency management, he has been called up, and they have told him, don't expect to be back until tomorrow. So he has gone, so I'm spending Valentine's alone and with you. So happy Valentine's. I have been very excited. I know where some people say they've got thousands and thousands of viewers. I have jumped up in viewership here lately, and I'm very excited about that. So welcome. Thank you. If this is your first time watching, welcome and thank you. As I said, my name is Becky. I'm the South Texas Stitcher. I'm in San Antonio, Texas, and we're very cold today. This is not normal for us. Normal for us is 60 degrees during the winter time, and it's 29 with a wind chill of 21, and it's supposed to get down to 14. And I don't like the cold weather. I live in South Texas for a reason. I've always told my husband there's an imaginary line that goes across Austin. Nothing below, nothing above that line do I ever want to live again. No, just say no. Unless he gets the fantastic job that's in the north. We're not going north of Austin ever again. Just no. I've lived in the north. I don't like the cold. I don't want to be in the cold. Thank you very much. The people that I stitch with on Zoom who tell me that it's 45 below, it makes my bones hurt. I remember living in the cold. It made my bones hurt. I don't want to do that again. Thank you. Wherever you're at, I hope you are warm and comfortable and are getting a lot of stitching done. But let me show you the few things I have. I don't have a lot. That's one of the reasons why I have not been filming a whole bunch, because I don't have an LNS to run to. I have to admit, my stitching haul has been curtailed greatly because I now have to travel quite a bit to go get stitching haul, which I'm going to have to do when the weather clears up and it starts to get warm again, because I was working on something and ran out of floss and it's an overdyed. So it's not like I can run to Hobby Lobby or Michael's, which are just a few minutes away, and go grab it. No, I have to drive to another town through horrible weather and traffic. So it's not going to get done for a while. So let me show you my haul. Oops. Excuse me. My one piece of haul. Actually, I had more than this, but part of it's also in the new stuff. So this is Wexford linen. It's 32 count Jack Frost. I love Wexford linen. I just want to sit here and go like this. It feels so wonderful. Now let me show you this piece of fabric. Isn't that fantastic? And that's coming out pretty true. It's a little more blue. It looks very gray, but it looks a little more blue. But I don't know what I'm going to do with this yet. But this was from it was either a Saturday or Sunday flash sale on Silkweavers on Facebook. I don't know if anybody of y'all have ever checked them out. On Saturdays and Sundays, they do what they're called their flash sale, and they'll put like between 50 to 80 pieces of fabric and patterns on their site. And the first person to say me gets it. And sometimes there's more than one piece. I think this was a one-piecer, but I fell in love with it. I wasn't going to buy any more fabric because I was like, I have a lot of fabric, and I actually don't have that many things I'm going to stitch right now other than what I have. But when I saw this, I went, I will find something for that piece of fabric. It's fantastic. So that is my haul. That was it. But I have done some other things. I hope to get some stitching done this afternoon. Today, since it is Sunday, today is my pandemic stitching day. And I stitch with the Fun Day Stitchers on Zoom. It's a 24/7 Zoom party, so to speak, we've got it set up to it's always running for anybody who's available to stitch. And because we do have cross time zones, it does keep the thing up and running. And when I finish this and get it uploaded, I'm going to go and do some stitching with them. So I'll get some more stitching done today. This was one of my finished, I guess you'd call it a finish, because I finished February plus a little bit of March. This little bit here is supposed to go into March. But I looked at the cover sheet and figured out that that was going to be a full triangle there. But this part here is February. I thought it appropriate that there was a heart in that piece. This is the Modern Folk Embroidery 2021 Stitch Along. And I'm doing this in DMC 28 and 29. Those are some of the newer colors. And this is 30 count Parisian Gray. And this is Access Commodities. And I was talking to some people this week on Facebook about Access Commodity Linen. It's great. I love it. It's got an awesome feel. It's very similar to Wexford linen. I will tell you this. If you don't like slubs, this may not be for you. But this is linen. So this is not going to be an even weave. And there are some slubs. I have to admit, there's not a whole bunch. But when they show up, it's like, oh. So I just work over it. Somebody was telling me they actually pick them out. And I was like, ooh, no, I don't want to do that. I would be afraid of damaging the fabric. But that is my February finish for Modern Folk Embroidery. Sorry about the zipper. My other finish that I have, this is a half finish because it's a two-parter. So I finished the bottom part of Lady Liberty, the drum from Blackbird Designs. I finished that, and I ran out of this cattail. I have essence of it left. I think I have 4 strands, so you know, two little links there. But I finished that. This is also on the 30 count Access Commodity Parisian Gray. I didn't realize how much I liked it. It's kind of like my squash blossom. I kept going to the LNS and I kept going, ooh, I like this color. And I'd buy it and I'd get home and go, oh, I already had this color for other things. But this is Lady Liberty. So I have finished this part of the drum. This is what I'm going to do next. And cattail is all of this white in her skirt, in her bodice. And I haven't started it yet. What I'm thinking of doing is going through my stash and see if I have any overdyed whites, because I think it needs to have an overdyed white in there. I don't think just an ecru will make it look right. The cattail that's down in here is not so overpowering that I couldn't use like an ecru up in here. I just don't want to. I want to make it look like it's supposed to. The only thing I changed, as I think I said in my last video, was this color gold, because the original Palomino that it called for was fading into the fabric and I couldn't see it. And I want to see my stitching. If I'm going to go to this trouble, I want to see it. It's one of my pet peeves. Then, oops, I have a small avalanche there. As I said, this is going to be a quick video. Don't have a whole bunch. Then this is my haul / new stuff. I don't think this had come out last time, but I have purchased Legal High from Long Dog Sampler. I think that's a fantastic looking pattern. I love the fact that it's got these mirror motifs and stuff in here, but it's not completely truly mirrored, because down here we have little birdies, up here we have rabbits, and of course we have the deer, some swans. I think those are swans. Yes, some swans. And the swans are wearing little crowns. I don't know if you can see those. So this is Legal High from Access Commodities. And I know this part up here is going to be interesting, because to me, when you just glance at it, it looks like an eagle, but it's actually flowers and swirly things, but it looks like one of those spread eagle pictures. But that is my haul / new start. Oh, let me take the pattern off here. So I have started it. I'm a bottom left-hand corner starter. So I have started the piece off. I'm enjoying this. I like this this look. I like the, what don't you call it? It's almost Celtic, but not being Celtic, because it's got this knot here, and there's a few other places in it that have that look. But I really am enjoying this. Oh, and I did forget, these are kind of haul also. I did buy some Smart and Cool, what do they call them? Smart and Cool silicone bands with these magnets. And I had a lot of people tell me to get this Smart and Cool because I was looking at Amazon, and some of the other brands were just being trashed. I mean, majorly trashed on their reviews. And I was like, I can't imagine stitchers telling someone to go buy these things if they're this bad. And so I put it out there and I said, well, hey, I looked at these and they're being reviewed badly. And I immediately got all kinds of stitchers back saying, oh no, don't buy those. Buy the Smart and Cool. That's what these are. And make sure they're 7 inches. And so they are 7 inches long. Now, people have told me they have trouble pulling them off. I haven't had any trouble doing that. But it has helped a lot with rolling up the fabric. This is the fabric that I dyed using some really nasty tasting sangria and some tea. So it's got a purpley tone to it. And I originally was going to do something red on it, and the red just clashed. I think I showed y'all last time, and the red was heinous. That's the best word for it. So I picked out, because I showed my husband, and he went, ooh. So and since that was his reaction, I decided, ew was not a good look. So I changed it to blue, and the blue is so much better than the red on this. This is 12 weight Sulky. And this is 40.55. There is the bottom. Let's see. I'll just throw it on the floor, obviously. There it is. There is 40.55. Did you get the number side right? Yes. 40.55 Sulky 12 weight. Now, I've had people say that they can't find Sulky. Excuse me. My new LNS, this Tin Smith's wife in Comfort, Texas, she carries this size spools. And in fact, I bought this as a test. This was my test thread to see if it was going to look good on the fabric I had done. And I really liked it, so since I prefer, when I'm going to do that big of a project, to get this size spool I buy from Sulky.com. I don't go and try and find it at an LNS, and therefore it's a lot quicker and easier. And so if you are looking for Sulky and you cannot find it, just go to the Sulky.com website. I do believe there's a separate one for European orders. But mine is the Sulky.com because it's the one it's out of. Oh gosh, where's it from? I don't remember, but I know it's from here somewhere in the States. But I know that Sulky also has a European vendor that sells, and it's got it different. But just do Sulky and see what comes up. So I've been stitching on that. I have also stitched. Excuse me, my head wants to run today. This cold weather and we are not happy. I don't usually stitch extra on my pandemic, which is also a long dog. But I pulled it out because, as I throw it on the floor again, this table that's next to me is very small, plus it's oval. And if you don't put it in the center, it falls off. I worked more on my pandemic in the last couple of weeks. I just felt in the mood. But I have to tell you, Sunday, yes, last Sunday, because I was not paying attention like I was supposed to, because I was chalking and just going and having a good time, I made a big mistake. So I probably would have been further along, but this is page 11 that I'm working on right there. I am going up. I went across the bottom to touch the sides from side to side. And now I'm working up so I can have a good idea of the sizing on this. But there is my pandemic, and I made a mistake down here. Luckily I hadn't gone up this far. I had to take like out all of the stitching that was all along here. It was like, it was almost a full day's worth of stitching. So, but I love this deer with the little bird on his head. I think that is so funny. And I know a lot of people are taking out the deer and some of the stuff and putting in other objects. And I know there's a whole page on under the files, I think, under Pandemic Long Dog, that are showing you options of what you can use. And I didn't want to put a roll of toilet paper in my pandemic or somebody who died. That just was more gruesome than just the pandemic in general. But this is, forgot to tell you, this is 37 count squash blossom. As I was saying, I didn't think about it, and I've got this project in my Newcastle bouquet, which I have not worked on, so I'm not going to bother showing you that. And this is Pandemic. It's 37 count squash blossom from Access Commodities, and I'm using the 12 weight Sulky Redwork, which is red, but it also has some purple in it. So when you're stitching along, it's not a solid red. It's got a little bit of pizzazz. And this is Sulky 4042. There we go. 4042. And I don't know if you could see the little bits of purple in there. So it makes it nice, and that tells you so far, let me see here, a comparison. You can see how much of that thread I've used already. These are 300 yards, right? 330 yards. There we go. 330 yards or 300 meters. I have 2 of them. And somebody else said something about that they use 3 this size on their Pandemic, which they have finished. I don't remember what color it was. And they did theirs with using a 28 or 32 count, I think. I'm using a 37, so I'm hoping that I won't have to use any more than that. We'll see. Because I know that the bottom is very heavily intensified stitching, and as you get to the bigger motifs higher up, there's more white space. So I'm thinking that's why I may not have to get a 3rd spool. We will see. Let's see here. Other than that, I really haven't done too much. And I know a lot of people have done the Heaven on Earth freebie design this year that says love you. Well, there's my bottom of my U. It didn't finish. I didn't finish it in time for Valentine's Day, and my husband didn't know I was working on it. This was a weird piece of fabric I was sent. I have no idea what size it is. I just have it. And I also have some, silk floss that I didn't buy. And so I'm thinking I must have received it as a gift sometime, and I don't remember receiving it or who it came from. But I'm using these 2 to make it. It's Hot Peppers and Iris, and this is Water Lilies by Karen or Caron. I don't know how that goes. I know most people call it Karen. But that's the 2 I was using on this blue and pink fabric. Thought it was an interesting fabric. It's kind of a loose weave, and I don't know if you can tell, because it is a loose weave, I'm doing it over one over one. We'll see. I may still go ahead and finish it and just hold it for next year for my Valentine, who can't be with me today. Maybe I'll work on it today. He was very upset. He always brings me flowers and chocolates on Valentine's Day, and because of this weather and because of what's been going on, they've been telling people stay off the roads. So he hasn't gone anywhere. Earlier in the week, before all this craziness hit, I happened to buy a card, and I had planned on doing some other things today and making a big dinner for, dinner for two, for the two of us, and with wine and candles and everything. Well, I didn't get the wine. I did get the card. We were gonna have rock Cornish game hen that I was gonna fix. That's still frozen because he's not gonna be home until tomorrow. So we'll have maybe a delayed Valentine's Day, which we still won't have any wine because they're telling you still allowed to go out, and we're looking at this until Tuesday. And for us, this is crazy. We just don't do this kind of weather. We're just beyond, I've got to get a haircut. We're beyond surprised at this weather. The weathermen are talking about, it has not been like this since 1989. I mean, that's been a while. Where was I at in 89? Oh, in 89, I lived in Massachusetts. So in 89, I was being cold, or anyway, because I was in Massachusetts. But yes, so if you need to get a laugh, you can laugh at the Texans right now because we have not a clue as to what we're doing. Oh, I did have one other thing that we worked on. I completely forgot. I don't know if I can show this to you. I pulled out my unicorn tapestry from Tiny Modernist, and I was working on this little section over here. I'm gonna see if I can spin the camera down a little bit so that you can see what I have done. We'll see if I can do this because let me just take this off. There we go. Oh, there's some finished pieces up on the wall. So here is, where is it? In the right frame. Here we go. There is my unicorn tapestry, and I was working on this section and right in here, working on this tree in particular. Yep. There's parchment tapestry from Rosewood Manor. My brain shut down. Death by Cross Stitch. That is the Mirabilia Nora Corbett. I'm not sure what she did it under. Wherefore Art Thou Mystery. And then there is a Lady of the Thread by Lavender and Lace. So those are in my living room. I don't know if I've ever showed those before. Let me tilt this back up in here again. Sorry for the jarring around. There we go. Those are in my living room, and I have other pieces all over the house. When we got ready to hang up Death by Cross Stitch, we did have other things on the wall at the time. And my husband, when I brought it home and its massive glory there, my husband was like, "Where are you hanging that?" And I said, "We're moving everything on the living room wall off. This is going up first, and then we'll move things back around it and set up things that way." And he was like, "Okay." I said, "Because people are going to see this when they come to our house. I did a lot of work on this." So I went and showed. If you have a big piece, I sincerely hope people will let you put it in the most awesome place in your home where you and other people can see it. I've seen some other stitchers, and I'm always amazed that they have nothing on behind, no pieces of artwork or anything behind them. It's just a blank wall. I can't do blank walls. Blank walls make me crazy. I'm like, oh my God, give me a pencil. I'll draw a stick figure on there or something. One of my family's favorite movies is The Quiet Man. And in The Quiet Man, Maureen O'Hara is telling John Wayne that she needs her dowry. She needs her pieces of furniture, And she needs the china and the pewter, everything that she's collected over the years, the things that have been handed down from her family, that she can't be his wife until she has her things about her. And in our family, which since we all are big John Wayne fans, especially the Quiet Man, that's one of the things. When we move into a new house, it is not our house or not our home until our things are about us. And part of having my things about me are having my pieces up on the wall somewhere, anywhere. I've got, every bedroom has pieces. The only place I don't really have a piece, yeah, I guess so. The only place I really don't have a piece is in the kitchen, and that's just because I'm afraid grease and splatter and things will get on it. I have 2 pieces that are near the kitchen, but they are covered in glass just for that purpose. That therefore they're not going to be messed up or anything like that. I can clean off the glass and they're good. Of course, that requires that I actually climb up there, because one of them is kind of high. Climb up there and get to the grease and the dust. Sorry about the glasses. If I take off the glasses, I'll tell you all a secret. If I take off the glasses, I squint. If I leave them on, I can see what I'm doing. But if I leave them on, I catch myself talking over them like this to you. So it's kind of a love-hate relationship with the reading glasses. And of course, Chekhov wants to sit here and be king of the castle. We have had a cat in the backyard now for 2 days. He is alive, and we're below freezing. We've been below freezing now for 2 days. I'm going to have 2 more days of below freezing weather. And he is a feral stray. I've seen him around the neighborhood all the time. Him and his cronies. There's about 6 of them that meander around. And he's been in the backyard for 2 days, and he's been smushed up against the fence. I'm assuming that's because he's trying to keep the wind from hitting him. I went and got a box and cut a hole in it and put an ancient pillow in there with a blanket. It's a big box. It was one I was just going to chop down and throw away. I just hadn't gotten around to it. And it's a sturdy box, because when I went to cut the hole, I was having trouble. It's like, well, this is a stronger box than I thought. I put it outside. I threw a little bit of food in there with a pillow and a blanket. And I'm hoping she, I can't even tell you what it is because I can't get close to it, will come back and at least be in the box overnight. And I know I've seen a few other people in the neighborhood put boxes out for cats and strays. Our neighborhood has a lot of cats, a lot of strays. Of course, I have to admit, people up the street, their cats are outdoor cats. They do not go inside ever. So, I mean, I know a lot of them are winter furred right now. But in Texas, winter fur is not what you would say is a, say, Minnesota winter fur. And these cats, I'm afraid, we're gonna find some of them dead. So I have put out what I could in hopes of maybe at least one animal may be saved. If you see an animal out right now, please try and protect it in some way. San Antonio, if you live within the city limits, has put out a law that even your own pet, if they find you've got your pet outside right now, it's a $300 fine. So they need to make sure they take their pets in. I'm going to go stitch now. I'm going to go join the Fun Day Stitchers, which, as I said, is an open Zoom meeting at all times. I hope to see some of y'all there someday. This is Becky, the South Texas Stitcher, saying, stay warm, go stitch. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.